Welcome to another edition of Plug In with Avi and Kyle. We are Avi and Kyle, the internet's odd couple who just happen to be your best source for everything that is anything tech news and product reviews. We're coming to you again from OC Digital Studio in the heart, the highest point according to Dave Leckness.
Yes,
where all the pros come, or the ex-mayor, and he's
no, he's still
right.
mayor till January.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's the mayor incompetent. What is it?
Mayor pro tem.
Pro temp. Same thing. Same thing.
Poor guy.
You can check us out on iTunes and YouTube by simply searching Plug In with Avi and Kyle, or on our website, pluginpod. We had an argument about this last time, and it is
pluginpod.tv.
And you can find OC Digital Studio at their website, ocdigitalstudio.com.
Correct.
Which
You're
is
right.
very cool.
Yes.
Avi,
Yes, sir.
I think this has got to be one of the biggest guests we've had to date.
This is the only real guest we have.
No, we had one other one. No, we had Maria last week, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm nervous. You know,
Well,
when I had my wedding filmed,
yes.
my buddy who's been doing it longer than I am, Mon
Mm-hmm.
Villacorta, he filmed my wedding.
Uh-huh.
And he told me when he filmed my wedding, even though he's been doing it longer than me,
Was
he's never
nervous.
been as nervous
Yep.
because he's doing it for another person.
Yep.
That's how I feel about our guest today.
Well, I think Felicia here will make you calmer. And
I don't know.
she
She's
will
pretty
soothe you.
intimidating. Yeah. So without getting too farther into it, we have Felicia. Am I saying that correctly? The poetess Morris.
Morris, yes.
Yes.
I'm here.
Oh my God! So many accolades. I could not decide which ones I wanted were more important than the other ones. So I figure we'll just get into it and let her
Tell us
all about herself.
Oh gosh, you're gonna make me brag about myself.
Well,
Hey,
that's
you have
the time
to.
to
You
do
have
it.
to, right? They have to.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this year marks my 25th year in radio.
Wow.
I started in 1989 on a syndicated radio show called the Hip Hop Countdown and Report.
Wow.
And maybe a few years, maybe 3-4 years later, I landed a job at 92.3 The Beat in Los Angeles. And 92.3 The Beat went from 92.3 The Beat to 100.3 The Beat, and then it was one other station after that. And I was there 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And shortly after that, I went on to start my own company, Poetess Media. I start really getting into digital content, Sprint and SiriusXM. Well, actually, it was Sirius before they got with XM at the time. And
That
then
was when
after
the battle was still going on.
Yeah.
right, and they finally got it together. So, and shortly after that, I went on to work for the Foxhole, which was or is Jamie Foxx's radio network on Sirius XM satellite radio. So, and then after that, I just start really getting into this whole internet radio thing.
But
so.
this broadcasting is in your blood.
Yes.
It's in your family.
Yes, my dad is also a broadcaster. He's celebrating his 50th year in radio.
Wow.
So, so it's definitely in the blood.
So it's in the DNA.
Yes.
And you know how I met Felicia?
That's exactly what I was wondering because this is not like this isn't a matchup I would figure like you guys get together, have dinner all the time.
No, actually, the way I met her, I heard her on the KFI on a Saturday, I think.
Yes,
and she
on
was saying
Mo Kelly show.
Yeah. And she was saying the same thing that we have been saying, that television and radio ultimately will be internet-based.
Yeah.
And I reached out to her, and lo and behold, she's going to tell us about her studio in Los Angeles.
And you thought it was a good idea to come down and spend some time with us?
Well, you know what? I thought it
Bad career
was
choice.
very nice of Avi
Yeah.
to reach out to me.
Yeah.
I mean, because and he and one other person did, and he reached out because actually, after being in radio 25 years and working for a bunch of corporate. Companies, corporations, I just decided I wanted to do my own thing. And originally I started out on a mission to do just an internet radio station. And then in my journey of looking for a location, I came across an old, empty recording studio.
Yeah.
And so once I saw that, I said, well, you know what? This is much bigger than just doing an internet radio network. This could present a lot of opportunities for a lot of people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I went on a mission, and I'm currently still on the mission to get funding to get the studio equipped. But I was telling this story, and Avi called in and offered to support however he could support. He came down to the studio on
Yep.
Crenshaw and Leimert Park.
Yep.
And we talked for about an hour or two, and we talked about the whole technical thing,
Yeah.
and he's
And-
been supportive ever since.
Yeah.
And the focus is that her mission is literally to help the kids around the neighborhood,
Yes.
to get them off the street and off the
That's
trouble.
Yes.
that's an amazing. I mean, that in itself, regardless of what you're trying to build.
Yes, I
Yes.
mean, the community is always, even throughout my entire career, I've always been community oriented. So when I found this studio in the community, right away I already knew. And even when I was planning to have the internet radio station, kids still were on my mind. But now I have an actual location where they can actually come in and
Yeah.
really learn from some
Yeah.
experts.
And it's important too, you know.
Yes.
Especially now, there's hardly anything for the kids to do other than sit on the side of the road and get themselves in trouble.
Yeah.
And this opportunity,
Well, you know what? They're always on the computers and
Yeah.
on
Oh,
their
yeah,
phones.
most of
So
them,
why
I'm saying-
not
Yeah.
teach them how to use it?
Most of
Use
them
it
are
effectively.
making
Yes.
Vine videos, or they're doing something
Right.
in this vein already.
Exactly.
So why not teach them how to do it professionally?
yes, yes.
And you know what? It may surprise a lot of our viewers that Avi would do something like that. Because he
Why is
seems,
that?
Because you seem like such a
Tough guy.
Tough guy.
No, I'm not.
You're a
I'm-
big softy, and you
I'm-
pretend though. You really put on an act like.
Well, when you lived in the hoods or anywhere, you have to look tough, even though you are mush on the inside, because you have to live.
Yeah.
No,
So
my experience has been nothing but nice.
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah.
very been supportive. He invited me down today to show me your facility, and
Yeah.
like
Nice.
you were saying, you were nervous and that you're learning
Yeah.
this like it's new every day. It's still the same with me. I mean,
And 25
even though
years
I
later.
breathe radio,
Yeah.
this every day, you know, this
Yeah.
technology is changing, and you
Yeah.
have to read and keep up on it every day.
Well, I don't know. A lot of people may or may not know this, but you had an album,
Oh yeah.
and I did some research because I had heard your album before.
Oh, you did.
And but I just went on to go because I don't have it anymore. All my CDs are gone. I had like 5,000
Like our
CDs just
computer.
gone. I don't even know where they are. But so I went on to YouTube to listen to some of the songs
Okay.
just to refamiliarize myself.
uh-huh.
And have you read any of the comments on there?
no.
Oh man, you should. You want to feel good about yourself? Go read those
Are
comments.
they good?
Oh man, there were people saying like they were ecstatic, you know, because YouTube can be
Me.
pretty bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
But these comments were like, the top comments were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I found this POTUS. OG POTUS, so dope!" Like,
ah,
oh man, so you still got the
that,
reach.
That warms my heart.
Yeah. What
So
was
where's the POTUS came from?
Well, I'm from Northern California. I'm from the Bay Area,
Uh-huh.
and I knew at 9 years old that I was going to be in the business, and I knew at 9 years old that when I graduate from high school, I'm moving to LA and I'm getting into business.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to do yet, but I was going to be in the business.
Yeah.
And it all started because my dad took me to a Parliament Funkadelic concert, and it blew my little mind.
We just had who was on Passion Driven in the studio the other day.
Larry Hatchett.
He was part of
Larry
Parliament
Hatchett.
Funkadelic.
He was
Ooh, Parliament or Commodores?
He was with
was
the
both,
Commodore
yeah.
and
Yes. So
Yeah.
going there, and
Yeah.
I said that this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I moved to LA right out of high school and jumped right into the business. I got an internship at RCA Records. I was working with artists like Will Smith when he was Fresh Prince and Boogie Down Productions. That's one of my favorite hip hop groups.
Yeah.
And then I just fell in with the rap crowd, and I
Yeah.
started rapping, and I ended up signing a record deal with Interscope Records in '91 and released an album in '92, and so yeah, I've been going ever
Who
since.
better to inspire children to show the kids? I mean, how many people can say? I mean, LA's full of people who I'm gonna go be an actress or an
Yes.
actor, or I'm gonna make it in the music industry. But you just came out and made it happen. Like, you're not taking no for an answer.
that.
Well, you know what? It might look easy, but really, when you have the passion for it, and this is really what you want to do, and if you're not just money driven,
Yeah.
and you just want to be more so on just doing what you love and getting paid for it, I mean,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
If
But it
it's-
is hard. It's
If it's
very
easy,
challenging.
everybody will be doing it.
Right.
And only the ones that really determine they can see it through. Because I keep saying to everybody, if it's easy, I don't need anything. I can do it myself.
Right.
But you know what? The hard things that only select few can make it and see it through.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Well, thank you.
So I have a
Thank you.
question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you've done radio, obviously.
Yes.
You're well seasoned.
I love radio, yeah.
Did you take voice classes to learn how to do a radio voice, or did you just go for it natural?
You know what? How I got on radio? I actually did not set out to do radio. I
Yeah.
was more of a rapper into the hip hop scene. And then one of my mentors and a good friend of my dad asked me, did I want to host a hip hop show? And I said, well, why not? And I was very green.
Yeah.
But, you know, with radio, it gets better as you do it and get more comfortable with it. So I was very green. But at that time, I read script. It wasn't like I was just on the air, like freestyling it.
yeah.
I read a script. The show was syndicated. And then someone invited me to do a little hip hop report on 92.3 The Beat in 93. And that was just off the heels of my album. And I went on. But I did take some broadcasting courses at a 2-year, like a community college.
Yeah.
So I did take some broadcasting, but because I grew up in it and was around it all the time, it was almost second nature, yeah. But I strongly recommend definitely going to school and learning this trade. I mean, because like I said a minute ago, the technology changes. And it's
Changing
not
daily.
just all about jumping on the air and just running your mouth. There's a lot
Unless
that
you're
goes
me.
behind. There's a lot that goes behind being a good broadcaster.
Yes.
Exactly,
And,
exactly.
and through your process, did you go through like a training with other people? And because with the radio show, unlike TV, you're talking and you have to keep your audience connected with you all the time. So did you have to go through like basic classes and what to do, what to say, that there's no silent moments?
You know what? The best way that, at least when I first started radio, the best way to get into it is to be an intern. And when I got offered the job at 92.3 The Beat, they didn't train me on the board and say, hey, this is what you got to do, this is what you got to say. You had to show up and learn yourself. Like a week before they told me I was going to do my first air shift, they said, okay, in a week you're going to be on, you know, and do your first air shift. So what I had to do in that week or two is sit with another radio DJ who was experienced, and they showed me the board. But you have to take the incentive to learn it. Like, and every time, and I had to go and meet this disc jockey 2 in the morning.
Wow.
2 to 6 in the morning. 2 to 6 in the
before he's
morning.
on-
I didn't have a car.
Wow.
But guess what? I had to learn the stuff.
Yeah.
And so once I became a seasoned jock, kids would come to me and say, hey, I want to learn how to do that stuff. I said, okay, well, come at 2 in the
2 in the
morning.
morning.
and
Yeah,
I'm on the air."
exactly.
How many will
Exactly.
them show up?
None.
Exactly.
Okay.
I just want everyone in our control room to take note of that story you just heard. Okay?
Yes.
There's no free ride.
Yeah.
There's
okay?
no free ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
So-
if you want to climb the mountains, you have to show up. Half of it, the battle is showing up. And
Isn't that what you pay Sherpas for? Carry your stuff up? So you can
yeah,
just have
but
a
you
nice
still
walk?
have to show up.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
have
They
to
can
show
carry your
up,
stuff.
and also on our side, we have to be willing to
Yes.
give back and to teach,
Yes.
because that DJ that showed me how to run the board, he was willing to do it,
Yes.
but not all the DJs
Yeah.
were. So
But the fact is that he saw the commitment that you're willing to come at 2:00 without a car.
Yeah.
He said, I want to spend the time with her because
Yes.
it's going to pay off.
yes.
And now here you are getting ready to pay it forward.
yes,
Circle of
definitely.
life.
Yes, isn't
That's
it?
so nice. I'm excited. I'm excited for you to get the studio together. I want to come down and check it out.
Oh, please do.
Maybe
Well,
I'll
we
come take a
might-
couple
we-
classes.
we might go there and help building it because
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
we wanted to try to get her all the gear and equipment
Yeah.
on the wholesale part so that we can save her money and
Yeah.
maximize the
Yes,
dollars.
I
So-
can
That's
use
what I'm
all the
talking about.
support.
Yeah. Oh,
and
well, we're going to get it.
Maybe we should even ask some of the vendors to be part of
Yeah,
giving.
sponsor it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
That would be.
Well, we'll
put-
figure it out. We'll talk about it. We'll
Yeah.
get it out after this. We have to go to commercial break real quick.
Sure.
We'll be back with Felicia, the poetess Morris.
Yes.
This is Plug In with Avi and Kyle. See you in a minute. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Wow.
Whoa, this is a heck of a show today.
Kyle wakes up in the second half of the show.
It takes a minute for that monster to kick in.
Right.
I want money for that residuals, please. So we're back with Plug In with Avi and Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Our wonderful, talented, beautiful guest,
You.
Felicia the Poetess Morris, is with us.
Yeah.
She's going to stick with us for the rest of the time, which is very nice of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I don't know if you've seen the show before. There's only 10 of them, 10 other ones, and we're not that popular.
But we start getting some traction.
Yeah,
we
we're
have
getting
a
a little-
lot
we're
of
getting a little bit,
downloads.
yeah.
We have a lot of views. And we have in the social media almost everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
it takes
yeah.
a minute to
Yeah,
really
yeah.
build, because I actually built a internet radio studio prior to the
Yeah.
one I'm working on,
Yeah.
and we were able to build our audience of over 1 million viewers in under a year. But it was based on the people we had, the hosts
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
shows and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it takes
Yeah.
a minute to,
We'll get
get
there.
people hip.
We'll
yeah.
get
And
there.
if you're hitting a chord or a note for the audience out there and they like what you're producing, I mean,
It takes
we
only one to
started
go
from
viral.
nothing.
Exactly.
We started from nothing. We came with the idea. Okay,
Started
sit
from the
and we'll
bottom.
do
Yeah.
it.
So this is the part of the show where you have the guest punch me in the face. Let's go viral. Let's go viral. Well, this is the section of the show we get into tech news, product reviews. We don't have a product review today, but we obviously got some tech news to talk about.
Yes, just
And
a little bit.
Just so you know, after the interview portion, it's kind of like open season. Just start talking whenever you want.
Okay.
We don't do any excuse me or wait for people to
Well,
talk.
we are going to go to the news, the local news.
The local news
things
later.
that
Yeah,
happen,
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now we're getting into tech news.
Well, okay, tech news. You know, a couple of weeks ago we had a tech news about 4K and why 4K and why 4K. Well, guess what? Amazon is going to start showing actual movies on their Prime 4K.
Yeah.
If you are Prime client, it's free, and if you are not, you can stream it, and ultimately you will pay a small fee.
What if you don't have a 4K TV? How many people do you think are going to do that?
Well, they said the numbers is increasing because
Well, yeah, but
4K.
Now it's a 4K TV.
What is it? It's double the definition of what you have today.
Oh,
the
gosh,
high
how
def.
much more clear can you get?
You get
Yeah.
to the point where it looks plasticky.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that's nothing. There's a technology with 8K will be
Oh
coming
my
soon.
gosh. Oh
But
gosh.
luckily, 8Ks you probably have to wear some glasses to distort some of the
Yeah,
picture.
exactly.
Because you can see inside the pimple of
Film
the people.
grain
Oh my
glasses.
gosh.
Yeah. It's,
Now, will this be competing with Netflix, you think?
Well, Netflix is going to produce is showing 4Ks as well, but you have to have the device to consume.
yeah,
it
but
on
you
that
know
end.
that there's going to be a lot of people who don't know. I can just get 4K on my
Yeah.
1080, and then they're going to pay the extra fee.
Yeah.
But same definition.
Yes, but the problem is too 4K. It's limited amount of product in terms of content, and then you need wider bandwidth because
Yeah.
now you're getting double the
Your
data.
internet, you better have fast internet.
So Cox and Time Warners will be screaming, "Hey, we want our cut!"
Hey, do you guys remember when we were talking about this the other day? I was talking to somebody. When it just reminds me of the bandwidth. So dial-up, back in the days of dial-up,
Yeah.
to even get into your computer, you had to go through DOS mode. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah,
You had to backslash or whatever.
yeah,
Oh,
and then you have to dial 1200 baud, and you have to listen to the weird sound behind.
And here we are, not that long down the road, and we're talking about 4K,
4K.
televisions.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I mean, dial up. I could just hear the noise in my head right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the 4K is here, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
The problem is that most of it's not going to be mainstream yet. ABC, NBC, CBS, so they just switched from regular definition to high definition. So, and most of the people just bought their high definition television. So it's going to be a while, another 2-3 years it will be common. But at least Amazon started, Netflix started, YouTube and some of their production, they have 4Ks.
Yeah.
The other news is LG is coming up with a watch, supposedly like the Apple Watch, but this watch going to be the Dick Tracy watch almost. It's going to have 4G on it so that you can make the phone calls. Dial Kyle.
Yeah.
And the watch will dial you, and you can listen.
Because that's what I need. First day we're fighting to see who can make the biggest thing. Now it's what can we fit it on your wrist.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
But the idea
waste.
behind it, it's going to track your walk, track your sleep.
Are you gonna wear one?
Sure. Why not?
If LG wants to sponsor her,
Right.
Yeah.
just put the watch
I
on.
won't say no.
Yeah. So, and the bottom line is that more than 50% of the people in the U.S. right now, they watch TV or listen to radio on their devices, their mobile
Yes.
devices. Yesterday, I was writing a list of what the iPhone, completely eliminated in the products, and I came with a list of 24 items
That they've eliminated?
that
they've
replaced.
Oh,
replaced.
okay.
And one of them, back in the old days, you used to buy a car with a navigation system in it and pay $1,800 or $2,000 for the navigation system. You don't need that. You needed a compass. You don't need that. You needed a voice recorder. You don't need that. You needed a radio, remember, and the Walkman, the TV. You don't need any of those. Even fax machine. Do you know you can literally take a picture and fax it on the iPhone?
I learned that from you, as a matter of fact.
So the idea is that this little device, it's replacing even your computer. Some people don't have a computer anymore. They have a tablet or a phone, and that's why they making the phone bigger and bigger, so you have the screen and the real estate, so you can work with it and use it almost like a screen.
Yeah.
So, and the fact is that some of the iPhones, there's apps that you can use it as a remote control to remote control your
TV,
television.
Yeah. You can definitely do it with the Apple TV. You can use
Yeah.
your iPhone easily.
I think we're becoming way too reliant.
Yes, I was just thinking that as soon as you said compass, because I had never thought
As
of it.
soon
But
as if these satellites go out,
we're done.
we're messed
Zombie
up.
apocalypse.
I
Are you
mean,
ready?
There's no
If you're not ready, you come
computers,
here.
There's
I'll
no
help you.
phones because no one has house phones really anymore.
Yeah.
you
The
know?
cord phones in Europe, there's hardly any cord phones left.
No telephone booths.
No.
Telephone booths.
Oh man.
No, where's Superman going to
We
change?
went to on our honeymoon. We went to Catalina Island.
Yeah.
And in the post office / whatever it is
Yeah.
there, they have a whole row like the old wooden and
Oh,
built into the wall
cubicles.
booths. Yeah.
Maybe it's just a
And I was
museum.
like,
Are the phones still in there?
yeah,
maybe
they work.
maybe just the museums. They want to show you what used to be.
the last pay, I didn't use one there, but the last payphone I used, I broke down in LA, and I had no signal or something was going on. I couldn't use my phone, and there happened to be a payphone at this right down the street.
And you found change to put in it.
I had change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's something that's going
Did
away
you
too.
remember the number you had to call?
Well, luckily,
now
yeah.
nobody
That's
remembers
another
the
thing.
number.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember that. It was because it was my wife I had to call. So yeah, I remember the number, but I don't. You asked me any other phone number, I can't
Right.
tell you.
I mean,
You know, even
now-
back when we were, selling and all this, you had to have the Rolodex and the names.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but it's all going away. You know
Yeah.
what? We're getting to
One
that
device.
point
Something
where it's-
happened, you're out.
You're gonna. All of us soon will be saying, "In my day." It's happening. It's coming. It's coming. And when that happens, there's no going back. Once you say that, well, back in my day, there's
Yeah.
no going back from it. Retire, get a lazy boy, and watch Price is Right because that's the end of it. That's the end of it.
if that's gone, then Price is Right will not be on as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. 'Cause
It's
everyone
all
will be-
satellites.
Yeah, they'll all be like, well, on Alibaba.com, you can get that same washer and dryer for half of that.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's what it is in the news. So,
Oh, and
you-
speaking of, you mentioned Amazon. I just read, I think it was this week, that the government is going to okay the drones.
yeah. They actually, there's 150 commercial applications for the FAA to consider. But the deal was they trying to make it's legal to use it up to, I think, 400 feet. You cannot go higher than that. And you cannot go in an area, but for like hobby, but not to make money out of it. So once you
So
put a camera,
Amazon couldn't do the drones?
not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. But Amazon was testing the drone and other pizza delivery and this and that. But ultimately, they are trying to, because of privacy. I mean, can you imagine before you had a peep in town going from now they fly the drone and they can zoom. So that's one of the reasons why they're afraid. And some jerks.
Well, that's
they
one of the
don't-
reasons I leave my shades open in my bedroom.
You keep the big umbrella.
I keep it with a big sign. Hey, look in here, drones.
Yeah. And some stupid people, they go and fly them next to runways and all this, close to the aircraft. And that's what...
Yeah. Well, I told you I saw the video of the guy in New York City who threw one out of the building and was flying it around. And he couldn't control it, so it was just banging off buildings.
Yeah. And one guy was in an...
I don't think they should legalize
in an
those
arena.
things. It's already enough radio waves and things in the air with cellular phones and things like that. I wouldn't approve it. We don't need it.
Well, as a filmmaker, I feel like...
well, for business, to do filming, you can get a permit and use it.
Yeah, but they said...
Right, but every day, and you're walking around, and you're seeing a bunch of drones
used it in a stadium and lost control of it. It fell down and hit a couple people and injured them.
Yeah, those things are heavy.
Yeah.
Even at 3 pounds, coming down at you from 100 foot, they can kill you.
Yeah.
I'm made out of steel, so I don't know what that would feel like.
So I don't know. I mean, I hope they really regulate that. And
they are. That's why they didn't just give the green light that anybody can fly them. But for a hobby, you can take them in the park. Not in the park. You're not allowed in the park. There's certain areas that you can take them.
Maybe out in the desert or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I was at a work party. My wife's work had a party at this park, and we were all out there playing games. The kids are running around and stuff, and you can just hear this. And everyone's looking around, and the first thing I did was I looked up, and there was one of those like DJI Predator, not Predator, but the DJI camera ones,
Phantom.
And then everyone's like, "Well, who's controlling that?" And if you look like, I don't know, 100 yards away, there's a dude just sitting under a tree.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, does he work with you guys? Like, do you know him because he's filming this thing right now? But yeah, there has to be some sort of
regulation.
Because people can't use. There's just some people who just don't know how to use discretion about things or how to be.
Yeah, abusing.
Especially the paparazzi. Let them
Oh, man. That's exactly why they should regulate them right there. A, that's an invasion. I can't stand seeing paparazzi chasing these people. Yeah. And second of all, I don't care about them. You're wasting all my news time with this. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio has a baby bump.
But the problem is that there's some jerks that are willing to pay for it, and that's why these guys stay in business. If they say we're not buying it, it's worth only 2 cents to us. You can imagine nobody will be chasing them.
Oh, yeah. Well, you never know. Some of these guys are pretty... Some of the paparazzi are just nice guys. You know, you can tell, like, you hear them on camera and stuff, but then other ones
but
that's how they eat, though. You have to keep that in mind. These are how these photographers eat.
It's fine if they sit, like, in front of a restaurant and the guy's coming and they take pictures, but chasing him to the laundry room.
Oh, yeah. Some of them chase him down and, like, say stuff to try to incite to get these guys fired up.
Shout out to TMZ.
Yeah, shout out to TMZ. Send us some money, residuals. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, something has to be done about that. And now everyone, like you were saying, is streaming everything.
Yeah.
The phone is used for everything. Watching TV. My daughter watches TV on my phone.
And now they have even cameras that you can stream live to YouTube with them. So you don't need to take them home and plug them. You can stream live through your...
You better be a good cinematographer for that. There's a lot of crappy videos. But, I mean, I think that's kind of what spurred us on to this visual radio, deciding to do, besides just like a podcast, to add visuals to it.
Yeah.
So people can. You can listen to us in the car if you're driving, but then you can also see the guests if you have something, you know what I mean? It adds that little bit of close and personal to it without being too invasive.
Yeah, and part of it is more intimate. I mean, you can talk to Felicia when I heard you on KFI. Okay, let me see. I ran literally home, tried to see if it was a podcast or it's on the line. It wasn't. So we listened to the sound only, but it's great to have both media and to enjoy if you have a book to promote or a product to show.
Yeah, because people are voyeurs. They want to see. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not. It's the way we are visual. We are more visual.
Right.
Well, people like to... She's right. She's absolutely right. People like to be... they do. Watch. Yeah, they like to watch. They do. They like to see what's going on.
Look how he talks on the mic.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the other thing, too, it gets rid of that shock, too. And because I listen to iHeartRadio all the time. And then... some days I just get curious and I'll go, oh, the guy I was listening to today, let me look him up. And I'm like, oh, man.
They always say you have a face for radio.
Yeah.
If
There's a couple, though, that I saw that I was like, this dude does radio. Why isn't this guy on TV? Or this
But
girl, why isn't
sometimes,
she on TV? What's
sometimes
wrong
they
with
talk
that?
about something and they say it's on our Facebook or it's on
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
our
and you can
website.
show
Yeah.
it right
Yeah.
away,
That's
But-
good though.
But
Yeah.
we can show it live. And
Yeah, but then people don't have to go to our Facebook. And that's,
all right.
how are you supposed to make money if people don't go to your Facebook and stuff?
Yes, we have to support Facebook. They're poor.
You don't have a choice now.
No.
Yeah,
you know,
Facebook is
I
in
heard.
everything.
I heard they're going to charge $2.50 per day
They
per
better
month.
get out of here.
Yeah,
That's what I heard.
she's
get
got
outta
it.
here.
Yeah, you better go.
Because they're already making so much money off
Mm-hmm.
of the advertisements. How dare them try to
They,
charge
that's what I
people?
heard.
Yeah.
There's some rumors that they will be charging per individual
Oh, my goodness.
They'll lose a lot of
$2.50
people
per
that
month.
way, yeah.
Well, we're gonna go to commercial break. We will be back after this. We'll be back with Felicia, the poetess Morris. See you when we get back from the break. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Plug In with Avi and Kyle, Internet's Odd Couple.
And
We are
our-
here with our wonderful guest. She's been, I mean, it's totally, you can totally tell she's got her radio chops because she's been in there chopping it up with us.
She's the only one common
Yeah,
between us.
exactly. Yeah. I'm so nervous talking to her still. I
Are
mean,
you
we're at
still
the end.
nervous?
I got butterflies.
Aw.
Felicia, the poetess Morris, is with us today. She's going to stay with us through our news segment, which we're going to get into right now. We're kind of combining our digging in the dirt and news today because it's something we haven't addressed yet because we've been stuck on ISIS and stuff, and I think it's really time to kind of jump
To
into
take
this.
it locally.
Yeah, so, we all know the names. Ferguson with Michael Brown, New York with Eric Gardner, and now 84-year-old Kang Wong in New York as well.
What happened
gosh, I
there?
didn't hear
I
He
didn't hear
was,
that.
they were trying to stop him for jaywalking, but he only speaks, I think, Chinese and Spanish. And the cop took his ID and was walking away with it. And he's like, hey, but he can't communicate.
Yeah.
And they
He
took him,
was how old?
84. And they took him to the ground, split his head open. He got
Jeez.
like 13 staples or something in his head.
Wow.
He survived.
He survived.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But, 84-year-old man, that's barely surviving.
No,
Yeah.
that is terrible.
That's like on the...
And he didn't make any threats or any.
No,
threatening
he was
gesture,
it was
walking,
lack of
jaywalking.
communication.
Yeah.
He was jaywalking. He walks every day. He owned a business in, I think, a restaurant, I think in Brooklyn or something for a long time. So it's not like this was
Yeah.
just some
Some guy.
whoever. It
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who it is. It's
Yeah.
jaywalking.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Okay, yeah, we have laws for that,
Yeah.
so people don't get hurt. But you don't throw
But in
a
New
guy
York,
to the ground.
was it New York?
Yeah.
New York, everybody jaywalk. I don't know if you ever been
I
in
think
New York.
that according to the article, he was there's a crackdown because I guess within a 3-block area or something, the last couple of weeks there had been 3 people hit by cars.
Okay.
But still, but we'll
They drive
get-
terrible.
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, these are just 3 of the higher profile ones.
And then the 12-year-old that was killed in
Ohio.
Cleveland.
In
Well,
Ohio.
a couple of weeks ago when Gardner, what's his name?
Eric Gardner.
Eric, Yeah. When I saw the story, I went and did a little research to see other countries like us. What did they do? How many shooting they have? In the U.S., they had something like about 800 police shooting and about 500 killed by police. In England, they had 1 shooting and the guy was injured only.
Yeah.
1 police shot 1 person.
No,
Well,
isn't in England, where
They-
is it where they don't have guns?
I think that's
England, they
Yeah.
don't carry guns,
Of
but
course, and the numbers
the
go
police.
down.
Well, the problem is the police that patrols doesn't carry gun, but they have a special police with guns when they have emergencies.
Oh,
So the idea behind it, it's the police is there to keep the peace and to be
And to
with
be
the-
helpful.
Yeah,
Peace officers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
peace officers, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm bringing this up. I mean, obviously there are many different things we could get into on this topic about everything from race to militarization of the police. But I was really thinking about it yesterday, and we have these gun control laws that they're trying to increase in California.
Yeah.
It's really difficult, but it's like there's no prerequisite to become a police officer. You just
There is. Though.
There is?
There is.
Yeah.
Well, how do these guys? How
You
do these
at
guys are
least
like that?
you know you can't be an officer if you have bad credit. That's a
Really?
prerequisite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about a bad temper? Because that's what's happening.
I don't. I'm sure that they have some psychological tests that
Yeah.
cops have to
Well,
go
evidently,
through.
the guy that shot the 12-year-old had
Yeah.
a psychological problem, and they didn't pick it
Yeah,
up.
like
in the
I
test.
feel like you're hiring these guys, and don't get me wrong. I mean, we obviously need police, but there has to be something more you can do to ensure, because you're giving these guys a gun and a basically free reign.
And
And there's more and more cases where people are dying because they're taking liberties with their
Okay.
yeah. Thanks, Avi.
yes,
With their authority, you know. So I mean, what?
sorry.
And the
about
thing
that.
too that I've heard a lot of people coming out and saying is like, why is the president going to spend all this money on these cameras when these guys have been caught on camera and still no, you know, action or punishment has been made? I actually saw the extended version of the Eric Garner cell phone video yesterday, and I was absolutely amazed because I just saw the little the part where they just had him in a chokehold, but prior to that, it was obvious that these police officers were harassing him
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
Exactly.
And they're saying that he had just broken up a fight. By watching him, you can tell he was probably a pretty cool guy that
Yeah.
lives in the neighborhood, you know, and that he's constantly being harassed by these cops.
Absolutely.
That was clearly murder.
And when they
Yeah.
even put the chokehold, he was going like
Well,
this.
he was
like,
saying-
he didn't push.
You can hear him.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about cell phone video from
Yeah,
10
yeah.
feet away. You can hear in his voice from that far on a cell phone microphone. He can't.
yeah.
You could hear that. You're telling me the cop on top of him couldn't
Well,
hear that?
first of all, the cops are trained to kill. I don't know why they train them to kill. When somebody comes out with a knife, they can shoot him in the leg, they can shoot in the air, or tase him, or pepper spray him.
Yeah.
But to them, it's like pull the gun, like they are in Iraq or in Pakistan, Afghanistan, fighting the Taliban. One
Yeah.
guy makes their own move.
Well,
boom, boom,
and that's
boom.
what I was saying. It's like, you know, we've had incidents where, like the one where the guys were in Hollywood, I think, robbed the bank, and they're just walking through shooting
Yeah,
the police.
that's back.
You know, and that spurred this. Well, we need to get the police stronger firearms.
That's fine. But
That's
these
fine.
guys were armed with
Yeah.
body suits
But
and
it's
all.
like there hasn't. There's no. It seems like they've. Some of these guys have lost their gauge for what's appropriate action for that time. Like what your rules of engagement are there for a reason. And
Yeah.
escalated force should become with an escalated threat.
Well-
You just don't jump on a guy's back because he's bigger than you. I mean, that
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Especially when 4 of them were out there,
Yeah.
4 or 5
Well,
of them.
I didn't see the whole extended version, but I did see where the cops were talking to him. And before anything could have even gone down, 2 of them were already posturing around him in a I mean, I would have felt threatened. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about the guy in Pasadena? He's a homeless guy. They grabbed him about a year ago. He was supposedly somebody reported that he was breaking into a car,
Yeah.
and they took him. And the police literally put the gloves on, and he said, "You going to get and whatever?"
Oh, yeah.
Put him down. They
Yeah.
broke his skull, punching him,
Yeah.
and then
Well, there was
they walked away.
There was the guy too where the cop pulled him over. He hopped out of the car, and the cop was like yelling at him, "Give me your ID!" And he went in to go get it, and they just opened
Yeah,
fire on him.
yeah, yeah.
Did they hit him once?
Yeah, they
like
hit him.
10 shots hit him once.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's something is going wrong here, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the selection process or if we need to be more involved. But people are so concerned about personal firearms, but here we are handling
These people firearms.
lives.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you are handing these people lives.
Yeah, one thing I am a little bit happy to see is that how the nation is coming together and protesting. Black,
Absolutely.
white,
Absolutely.
all races are getting
Yeah.
involved. Because there's one thing, like when I'm watching on TV and see other parts of the world and they are just outright not having the injustices, throwing over the government and all those types of things. I admire that because in the United States, I feel we're a little bit too comfortable, you know?
Absolutely.
And so now with all this happening, people are really starting to get fed up and fighting. Like I went to the protest, I protested a couple weeks ago for the Mike Brown verdict. And I was so happy to see that there was just more than black people out there on the streets
Because-
of LA.
Yeah.
There were whites, there were college
Yeah.
students. I was loving seeing all the young
Exactly.
people being active, and Latinos and Asians. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy to see that people are really starting to stand up. And
Well,
fight
that's
Yeah.
what put the spotlight during the Vietnam War. All the kids and schools and colleges that went out there, it didn't matter black, white, or green.
Yeah.
And it was something not really what the
Exactly.
country wanted. And the same thing in here. But these cops, most of them are hired. It's a nepotism. Their friend
Yeah.
and their cousin and their whether they
it
are
could
good
be
or bad.
generational too. The
Yeah.
father, the son,
Yeah,
the grandfather.
whether they are good or bad, that's irrelevant because it's part of the whole system is
Yeah.
corrupted, and they go there with their egos bigger than this room, and because they have the badge and the gun, they automatically try to think that they are the emperors.
You know, it's not all police officers,
Majority of them.
but there's I mean, we're obviously seeing that there's something going wrong. In
You
this
don't need to
process
shoot
of-
Brown 12 bullets. He's not a terrorist with a
Yeah.
suicide bomber. You try to stop him. A
Well,
kid,
you don't need to chokehold a guy who's obviously having
yeah.
a hard time breathing either, and you don't need to throw an 84-year-old man to the floor. There's
or a
some-
kid
yeah.
to shoot before you
But
ask.
you know what it
gun
is,
or whatever.
and it comes back to again the militarization of the police. I was in the army for 10 years,
Yeah,
and all the training is reactionary.
yeah,
This happens, you do this.
yeah.
You
Well,
can't
because
train-
your life
Yeah.
on the line, you're in a battlefield.
Well, you're training your police the
Yeah.
same way. What's going to happen? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You got to the police officer. I mean, if you look back at police officers represented throughout history and television and cinema and stuff, there's a lot more and more. They're like bad boy style, where back in the day it was Andy Griffith style. You know, he was there to
But
help
they were-
settle disputes, to help people.
But police back in the old days, they used to patrol on foot,
Yeah.
go to the local grocery store, to the local store.
And they would have relationships with people in the community.
And I think
Maybe
that's
there should be
important.
some more community
Yeah.
policing,
Yeah.
more community and police
Yeah.
events together. I know that maybe, let's say the early, mid 90s, that after the LA civil unrest happened, the community they came closer together.
Yeah.
There was less gang violence and so on. But there was also police officer
On the-
basketball games,
Yeah.
baseball games with some of the gang interventions,
Yeah.
the gang groups and stuff like that. So maybe more policing and police should come out of patrol the communities that they grew up
And
in.
instead of driving in their car. And not only that, the police back in the old days used to know the kids and know their family. And they would go,
And
hey,
that's exactly
Johnny.
what you were saying, and I agree completely. If you're going to have, I mean, I understand that there's these huge neighborhoods that these police are kind of responsible for, but if you have more
that are from that neighborhood.
from that neighborhood or more community interaction, like you said, a lot of these things.
How
can
do
be
you get
alleviated.
from the neighborhood if the only way to get to the police? Now they change it in Los Angeles a little bit. If only the way you get into the police and to the academy, only if your brother and cousin and uncle in there and you have the leg ahead of everybody else that applied.
Exactly.
That system need to be changed, and maybe even the union
Yeah.
to realize that there's a problem. You cannot just militarize these guys
No.
and send them. And when somebody makes their own move, boom, put a bullet in
that's
his
like the
head.
first. I mean, a gun should not be your first resort.
No, that's why they have tasers and they have the pepper
The rubber
spray.
bullet.
Yeah, or I mean, you don't even need that. A lot of stuff can be taken care of by doing what a police officer is supposed to do: keep
Yeah.
the peace, go out there, find out what's going on.
But we also,
talk.
acknowledge that it's a risky job being
It
a
is.
police officer.
Yes,
It's
I
not.
mean,
That's another thing. Everybody says the police is risky. A taxi driver in New York or Chicago, it's riskier.
Okay.
Trust me. So let's not.
Yeah.
You know
you
what
know
you're
what you
signed
signed up
up.
for.
yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
and,
I mean, that's true.
and
you know
you
what you
have
sign
the
up
power
for.
and the armament to
Yeah.
protect yourself.
But if a guy's signing up for, I'm out there to clean up these streets, that's the wrong guy for the job. You want a guy who's there to serve. He's
Yeah,
there for
yeah.
his service.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Just like in the military, I would rather have a guy who is less aggressive next to me, but is there because he's there to serve and to help, than the guy who, I want to kill some terrorists.
I'm going to shoot them, dice them.
But that's the ones they get, though. I wouldn't
yeah.
jump there.
Yeah, you don't
Those
got
are
to
the
tell
ones
me.
they want.
You know, and while we're talking about this, I wrote it down. So, the biggest one I can remember, the biggest thing with police that I remember, I'm only 35.
Yeah.
That
old?
would be the Kent State
Yeah.
incident that happened in the 70s.
During the
They shot the
Vietnam War.
protesters. Yeah. But now, it's almost like a daily thing. Like I don't know if you guys heard about the UC Davis where they had all the kids handcuffed.
Yeah.
And the cop just walked by and pepper sprayed all of them anyways.
Yeah. They fired.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Why?
Well, a couple of days ago, it was a story with a cop killing somebody in New York. And the guy was with a knife. He already hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And the police told him, put the knife. And the police was in control. Told him, put the knife. The guy put the knife, got closer to the police, turned around, and picked up the knife again. And the police shot him.
Yeah.
It's justifiable. He already committed a crime.
Yeah.
The guy is bleeding. They had to do something, and it was justifiable.
Yeah.
But what they did with the other ones, I don't think so, and especially the brutality of it. And then you get these.
Well, they're like you see these videos. We're gonna go over, guys, just so you know. We see these videos, and these police officers are like animals in these videos.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
And then you get the grand jury, and they rigged it in a way where they gave them one side of the story.
The Mike Brown is a total mess.
Rigged.
The Mike Brown grand jury was total. I read also, or I forget what news guy was on MSNBC, where he pointed out that originally when they were handing out the rules and instructions to the grand jury, that they actually handed them out an old handout with a law on there that was no longer relevant to today's laws, which was... I think it was you can shoot somebody when they run. There was an actual law that when you run, they can shoot you if you run. So this law was still in that paperwork that they had handed out to the grand jury. But just before they were getting ready to make the decision, they go, "Oh, we're sorry, we gave you the wrong information."
After they read it.
Yeah, after it's kind of hard to go. You can't take that back.
Yeah.
So and I think some other stuff, recent stuff came out as well.
And they never questioned the cop because his statement to the police, what happened, and his questionnaire was totally different. Nobody challenged it.
Yeah.
Like they didn't tell him.
Didn't they also, it wasn't even in the area where the shooting happened, was it? Didn't they do the grand jury?
No, it was around there somewhere, maybe the Capitol or whatever.
And I read today that they presented a false witness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's... terrible.
Yeah, they did rig it in every way they can, and then when the district attorney came, we did this, we did this.
Yeah, and then then you have, I don't know. I get emotional about this stuff because
we are in the 21st century.
You have we're still doing this. We're still worrying about. I mean, I wrote it down here. I mean, you have these pundits and these people on the news saying, racism is gone and it's colorblindness and these incidences have nothing to do with race, but that's a lie.
Yeah,
it's gotten worse. It's more, I think, visual now. I mean, it's obvious. I think a lot of people are upset because we have a African-American president, and so I think that a lot of it might be because of that.
Literally, according to some of them, he's literally from Africa.
Yeah. And you know that he got more threats against his life than all the three previous presidents combined.
Yeah.
Combined.
Well, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The only way to change is to change yourself. You can't, and we're taking a stand against it, just like we did on a previous show. We said it. We're not standing for that stuff. Human beings are human beings. It doesn't matter. And you have these people, like I said, on Fox or whatever, saying, "Oh no, it's not racism. Racism's dead. We don't see color." But that's a lie. Everybody sees color. It's what makes us who we are. It's what makes us have the ability to understand. Some people do.
Fox is
right.
They have followers.
No, you're right. You're right. I know.
But humanity is humanity, regardless of who you are.
If they do.
Right.
Yeah.
And humanity is put together by everyone being different, having different backgrounds, and understanding that about each other. And for people to just outright say that is disturbing to me.
All right, let's go to a more positive note.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough on that. I got way more. I wrote down a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we wanted
we'll have to have you back again.
Plug in her and how we can help her and who else can.
I'll tell you what, I will go on her radio show and finish up this conversation.
Oh, yeah, you guys are more than welcome as soon as I'm set up.
Yes.
So okay, so let's take a deep breath. Let all that negative know that we're all in this together, and that justice will be served eventually.
On a private note, I mean, on a positive.
On
note.
a positive note.
Okay, well.
Well, plug
Yeah,
your
plug-
show.
tell us all about it.
It's
Tell us
your,
Well,
you're
I'm
on.
in the process of building Morris Media Studios and Morris Media Lab. Morris Media Studios will be a professional media studio that will have capabilities to do pretty much what you're doing here at OC Digital Studios with being able to broadcast and record internet, radio, and TV programs, as well as we mentioned before, the Morris Media Lab will focus more on teaching kids about new media and broadcasting. Our goal at Morris Media Studios is to become a content production house.
Nice.
We want to produce, discover stars, hosts, personalities, and create shows around them and pitch them to major and mainstream networks. The Morris Media Lab, we want kids to be able to come in and learn everything from hosting shows to being behind the scenes, the technical part. So on Saturdays, my vision is to every Saturday morning, maybe from 9 a.m. to 1.
Not from 2 o'clock in the morning.
The kids will come in and actually host their own shows on an internet kids radio network.
Nice.
So that's the immediate, the vision. But right now we're in the process of raising funds to get equipment.
Okay.
So on Monday, December 15th, we will be launching a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo. So when you go to Indiegogo, you'll search Morris Media Studios, or you can find us on Facebook under Morris Media Studios, or you can follow me on everything under OG Poetess to stay up on what we're doing. But we want to build something really cool and unique in the Crenshaw Lamert Park area of Los Angeles, which is really the heart of the Black Cultural Center in the Los Angeles area. And Crenshaw High is less than a mile there. So we want to do some partnerships with the high schools in the area and just really give kids a positive alternative. But
Yeah, absolutely.
my thing is radio. I like to create. I like to produce. So we want to produce some outstanding shows that either go viral on the internet or we can pitch to some networks. It's just
Absolutely.
more than coming in and streaming shows. We want to create some new stars and have our own voice and our own perspective to counteract a lot of the stuff
The
we see in the
negativity.
media.
Yeah,
Yeah, and well, we're
Great.
going to help you put it together.
Thank you. I can use
yes.
all the
Yeah.
help we can get.
And
You can email me, too, if you're interested, at contact@morrismediastudios.com.
Perfect. We'll
great.
flash that up on the screen.
Yes.
So we're going to help you put it together. But I would also like to volunteer some of my time if you have me down
I
there
would love
to help with the kids.
Yes, that would be
I would
great.
love to do that.
And we will talk to some of our vendors to see if we can get them to donate some equipment. I can and Mr. Goldstein.
Yeah, we got some people that I think would love to be involved
Yeah,
in
if
that.
they
so.
come down and see, I mean, this could be really a great place for especially
Not
kids.
could be, it is going to be.
Yes, you're
great
right.
place.
You're right.
Positive mental health.
Yes.
Absolutely going to be a great
yes.
place. I get chills just thinking about it. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. You know what? You're not just doing this, like you said, to make money. You're giving back to the community. And there's no greater thing you can do than to help out the future generation.
Yeah, if I can live and travel and have nice surroundings, I don't need no money.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. Well, that is all for us today. Thank you, Felicia.
Oh man, it's
Thank
been
you
a
for
blast.
coming.
I really enjoyed you
that
guys.
was
You
awesome.
guys are
Enjoyed.
so cool.
Oh, you see, now I feel better about myself. Still nervous. We're finishing up, and I'm still nervous. This has been Plug In with Avi and Kyle, episode number 11. Thank you for joining us. See us next week, and I guess that's it.
Yeah, well, don't forget about the open house.
We're having an open house. What day?
The December 17th from 3 to 6. And if you are out there, you want to learn about how to do a video, how to do a broadcast,
We're gonna have-
podcast.
We're gonna have Brainstorm in the house.
Yes, we are going to have
some other people.
Brainstorm, Vidigo to be
Vidigo's
demoed.
gonna be here, so come check us out. That's on what day?
December 17th.
December 17th, 1 to 3.
2014 from 3 to 6.
3 to 6.
3
Ah,
to
close
6.
enough. Well, if you
And
come at
are
1, we
going
won't
to have
push you away.
food, refreshments,
Yeah.
and all the crew.
Yeah,
and
water
everything.
and saltines.
That's it.
All right, guys.
That's if you're good.
That's it for this show. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.